That's why Abraham comes from the land of Ur, from the gold in the head. I will be exposing today how this final period of history that we've been living in, we're approaching the age of Aquarius, ruled by Saturn, by the way. Interesting. But also remember, it's ruled by Uranus. And Uranus is the daddy of Saturn. Beyond the spheres of Saturn is Uranus. Uranus means heaven. Heaven is heaved up. This is heaved up. This is the heaven. The heaven is reached here, the ram, the cerebrum, when one is able to activate the 7 chakras and turning the 7 vices that these chakras represent, turning those into virtues. And in the process of ascending that beautiful energy up the spine, one is able to reach the high heavens. You see, when Jesus dies at the age of 33 bones of the spinal column, at the very, very top, this is talking about, see, Jesus is born, but Christ is raised, you see. So this is why you hear about Jesus' ministry lasting for 33 years. And then he is crucified when the oil has reached the top of the medulla oblongata. And then finally it returns into the third ventricle and activates the pineal gland. All of the dormant brain cells in the brain are reactivated. This is why heaved up heaven, Uranus, the father of Saturn, who is ruling the age of Aquarius. Uranus and Saturn together, and we are here. And we have been in this ruled by Jupiter, which is capitalistic wealth and greed and money. Because Jupiter has a consort, Juno. And Juno is where money, Juno Moneta, was pressed in Rome. And this is the greed of Pisces and the capitalism. And this is the rule of money. Here there is no money. Here there is a mental and spiritual exchange of energy, the proper currency. This is why it's so important to know this science. It's so imperative because we need to understand where we are going. This is called, there's a 1,000-year rule of Uranus here. Here is the 1,000 years that the Bible is talking about. There will be 1,000 years of peace. Because Uranus gets to rule the first portion of his co-rulership with Saturn. And this fulfills in the Bible what it talks about when Jesus says, when I come into my Father's kingdom and I will sit at his right hand. That's basically, essentially, that is Saturn saying that he will sit at the right hand of Uranus for 1,000 years. And then, after the 1,000 years, Saturn will return as the ruler, and there will be deception, a period of deception. To understand that, about this rulership of Uranus and Saturn, Stowe's Bible astrology, the Bible founded on astrology. And in here he talks about this co-rulership. And it's biblical. We're going to go into that today, to uncover that. So you see, we have 2 very powerful planets that have such an impact on today's world. The reason why Saturn is prominent and not so much Jupiter. Jupiter is the main ruler of capitalism and the last Piscean age. Jupiter is basically 90% ruler. Jupiter has more influence than Saturn, but the Saturnian church, which harvests Saturnian energy, these are your bar, for instance. You'll find those as magistrates, and they call themselves magistrates, and they are a fraternity that are registered in London, the British Accredited Registry. But when you see the word bar backwards, it's rabbi, because it's Talmudic law that they are imposing through their Church of Saturn. This is why the magistrates wear black. Now, these guys are in your churches. This is the Latin church. Remember, Virgil in the Aeneid said, "For we Latins are Saturn's people." And Virgil wasn't the only one. Many Roman philosophers made that statement that Latin is all about Saturn. So you've got Saturn, Latin, atom, and this church, which is the bar, is working with the gluttonous church of Jupiter. See, the Saturnian greedy bar, these so-called rabbis that give us Talmudic law, and these ones that give us maritime law, the Jupiterians, from Rome, canon law, etc., admiralty law. This is the church of gluttony and the church of greed. And this is a coven of witches, folks. These two churches are a coven of witches that have suppressed this beautiful knowledge. You see, the churches that go around professing to be Christian, to be based on this science, are in fact the force of these two planets gone haywire, basically. That's what it means. They are harvesting this energy, and this is why we have been dominated by money and greed in the age of Jupiter. But relief is coming, because Uranus in Aquarius will rule together for 2,000 years. Ram. Ram is Royal Arch Masonry. This is the Royal Arch, the bark of Ra. It is also right ascension of Meridian. And in here there is so much wisdom and science.